Hey everybody, welcome to Pop Culture Philosophers Live. That's right, in fact, it's actually Rockin Robbie Live. How are you doing out there? Tonight we're going to be chatting live about comic books, movies, pop culture, and a whole lot more. Football, all that and more here on Rockin Robbie Live. How's everybody doing? Once you get in the chat room, let me know that you're here and that we're chatting, and so I know who we're talking to. What's up, Jesse? What's up, Bowana Beast? What's up, David Hatch? You the real star, David Hatch. What's up, Adam? What's up, Jesse? What's up, S Squared? How are y'all doing? What's up, One God Tank? How is everybody doing tonight here on a Sunday evening? We're going to be chatting about, like I said, pop culture, comic books, and a whole lot more. We'll be chatting about, we'll take a look at this upcoming week's new comic books. We'll take a look at our picks of the week last week. So that's the first question I'm going to ask you, actually, and we got a lot more things to get into. Lots of questions. You know, you keep this conversation going, so do not be shy. Do not be shy about your questions. You do not have to pay money to get me to notice your questions, but of course, tips are always appreciated. But I am Rockin Robbie Billups, and we're going to be chatting about life, pop culture, all that and more here on Rockin Robbie Live. What's up, Joe? What's up, Jake? What's up, Dodora? What's up, Monty? S Squared, you keep that going, and I hope I get one of the first looks. So what was your pick of the week last week? Mine was Silver Surfer Black #4. I absolutely love that book. I thought it was a pretty decent new comic book day. Lots of series that were already in progress, pumping out great issues, Thumbs, Sonata, Unearthed. But to me, it was Silver Surfer Black #4. My pick of the week, mostly based on Trad Moore's amazing artwork. My mic stand keeps kind of, I don't know if this is just mental, but whatever. Pardon me for moving it. How is everybody doing, everybody? What's your pick of the week last week? Mine was Silver Surfer Black #4. Oh, thank you so much. Thank you so much, Monty. So everybody, as you're chiming in right now with your picks of the week from last week, I'll go ahead and say you need to be on Patreon. That's right, patreon.com/PCP. We have some exciting and astounding. We have some really cool stuff up at PCP on the Patreon right now, including the PCP After Hours podcast. Every time we do a podcast, we keep the mic live for about 20 to 25 minutes. Somewhere around there, and we usually have a topic of conversation, but the conversation can go wherever it wills itself. That is exclusive to our Patreon subscribers. Patreon.com/PCP. You can access the latest episode of PCP After Hours, which was just released today. Also, early access for this week's Comics Revisited. That's the wrong button. Comics Revisited. Crisis on Infinite Earths. Me and Jelani talking about that one this week on Thursday, but it's available right now on Patreon. Patreon.com/PCP. So that does lead me to go ahead and say thank you so much, everybody. We just hit 5,000 subscribers. And it is something that I was anticipating, but at the same time, didn't really think that it was going to happen back in the early days. Thank you so much. We really do appreciate everything. We're going to be doing a contest very soon. It's probably going to be Vault Comics themed, if you will. So be on the lookout for a video announcing that. It's going to be, of course, related to our PCP page on Facebook. That's Pop Culture Philosophers. And, of course, you can join the group, Pop Culture Philosophers, the Army, PCP Army over on Facebook as well. Let me get to some comments real quick, and then we'll start looking at this upcoming week's new comics. But first, let me know, what is your favorite comic book of last week? I just moved everything around. So now I don't know where the comments are. They're right here. They're right here in front of me. Okay. Logan, I'm great. How are you doing? What's up, Eddie? How are you doing? Eddie just joined the PCP Army today, the official Pop Culture Philosophers Facebook group. And I'm not going to try to plug too much, but I'm really excited about this stuff. David, is alcohol usually involved in those PCP podcast extras? Probably, to be honest with you. Well, most definitely in the PCP After Hours, because this is what happens. When we do the podcast, we drink a little bit. That's what we do, right? Now, when we do PCP after hours, we have already been drinking. You know what I'm saying? So the PCP after hours shows are a lot better. Of course, as far as alcohol is involved, alcohol is not really involved in the movie reviews or the weekly comic book review or the weekly pop culture wrap up or a lot of other videos we do. In fact, as far as video work goes, the only time you really know that 100% sure someone's drinking on that show is usually here on the Rockin Robbie Live. Thank you so much, everybody, for 5,000. That was amazing. I started the weekly comic book review in October of 2016, so we're about to hit the 3rd year anniversary. And by the way, patrons are about to start getting early access to the weekly comic book review, but it's going to be audio only. So I film the weekly comic book review, right? And then it takes usually about 3 to 4 hours before the end of my filming to you getting it here on YouTube. But I can immediately upload an audio version of it. So I'm going to start doing, in the first Wednesday of October, an audio-only weekly comic book review podcast that is exclusive to the Patreon page, patreon.com/PCP, as little as $1 a month. That's all you have to do to access it, and it's going to give you access to an audio file that is the weekly comic book review, about 4 to 5 hours usually, I would say, before everybody else gets it on videos here on YouTube. Just if you want to help support the channel. But you don't have to. Just liking, sharing, subscribing, all that stuff is support enough. Being here on the live streams, let's chat, everybody. Let's talk. We got some comments in right now about the weekly pick of the week. The weekly pick of the week? I guess the pick of the week is weekly. Anyway, of course, remember to follow me on Twitter at @TheRockinRobbie if you are on Twitter. And there on Twitter, every Wednesday morning, I release my condensed top 10 comic books of the week. I used to only do a top 5, but now I do a top 10. So the 10 most important comic books of the week on my Twitter page, at @TheRockinRobbie. So pick of the weeks. Mine was Silver Surfer Black. I really think that, first of all, I think Tradd Moore is doing an amazing job right now, like pumping out some really Kirby-esque, but his own style as well. But Kirby, it's in line with Kirby. It's in line with John Buscema. It's in line with what they did. It's tied to the historical relevance of the Silver Surfer comic books. It's so amazing. It's so amazing. And Donny Cates is really doing something really extreme with the extremely awesome, I should say, with his cosmic stuff. And recently it's been kind of led into belief that Guardians of the Galaxy number 12, which hits in December, and we covered a lot of December solicitations on this morning's weekly pop culture wrap-up, that the Guardians of the Galaxy number 12, or whatever issue it is, kind of culminates and ends all of this cosmic stuff. I doubt that. I think Donny Cates still has a big plan in the works. But I'm excited for it. Silver Surfer Black was my pick of the week. What was yours? Logan says Powers of 10. That's an excellent comic book. It's amazing. I love it so much. I don't know if S Squared is saying that Isola is his pick of the week, but yeah, the coloring of Isola is amazing. In fact, the artwork of that keeps me engaged. I really need to get caught up right now on Isola because I am so far out of the story. I know that the queen became a tiger. There's whatever. That's basically it. Okay, so excuse me. I really need to reread some of that stuff. Reread some of that stuff. But every issue, even if I don't know what's going on artistically, it's so amazing. Didn't make my top 10 because of that. I need to get caught back up. I am caught up. I am caught up on Isola. That's what's crazy. I'm just not up to date and refreshed on the story, but the artwork and the overall jive of that book keeps me alive. The overall jive keeps me alive. Whatever, right? Oscar is playing the theme song in the head. What are you talking about? The dun 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 dun. You know, many people have asked me to change that. That's a song I wrote way back in the day. Years, almost over a decade ago. Maybe a decade ago, actually. A lot of people have asked me. A lot of people have requested that I change that theme song, but I love it so much. I don't want to let go of it, and I wrote it myself. And if I want something more modern, then I need to rewrite something, and it's just I'm not set up for that right now. I'm spending so much time, of course, just work, life, living, bettering ourselves, and then, of course, the YouTube channel. So it's hard to find time to write a new theme song. And I don't want to just go get like some kind of like, royalty-free music or whatever. I kind of like the idea that it's something that I made, something I crafted. But I may change it one day. But thank you for that, because I really like that. If you're talking about the dun 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 dun. In fact, if you're not talking about that, the only other theme I use is the bum 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 bum. And of course, I wrote that as well, and that's the theme that we use for Comics Revisited and the movie reviews. Anyway, picks of the week. Let's see what's going on. What's up, Bakari? How are you doing? Gotham City Monsters and Vamp #1. Now, I'm not Comic Corps. I'm not really familiar with Vamp #1. I don't know what we're talking about there, but Gotham City Monsters was really good. I was very surprised and shocked by that. I typically only like Steve Orlando books when I read them as a whole, but that was a great one. And I was really nervous about it. I was like, it's going to tie into the whole, the Monster Men story that was like right at the beginning of Rebirth, and it didn't really work for me. I just thought it was kind of silly and didn't really work. I was still lingering around, we got this monster section of Gotham City. No, but the book was awesome. It was really cool. It really used some characters I really love, like I, Vampire and Frankenstein, Agent of Shade. So I really liked that book. I thought it was really good. And I hated the Larry Hama run on Batman that came right after No Man's Land, and that's where Orca. I don't know if that's where Orca got introduced, but there was some Orca stuff in there. I think that's where she got introduced. Anyway, I hated that character, but it was interesting to see it now, and it kind of had a nice nostalgic feel. Toby Bopper says his pick of the week was the criminally underrated Justice League Odyssey. J-Lo. I have not been reading that one. Did not like it at first, but I hear since Abnett came on, it's been really, really good, so I definitely need to get caught up and check out what's going on in the pages of J-Lo. Who else reads J-Lo? What have you been thinking about it? Because I've been hearing good things about it, to be honest. Logan says Midnight Sky from, was that Scout Comics? It was an interesting debut for me. I thought that there were two completely different stories that didn't quite become one, but I am excited to see what's going to happen. But Wannabe says, I like the Riddler Year the Villain one-shot. I'm interested to see if they try something new. I think that's definitely the lead-in to this. Black Mask, Riddler, Sinestro. So far, all these Year the Villain one-shots have kind of been lead-ins to like possible characterization of those characters in upcoming comic books, So that could be really, really cool. But I liked the exploration that was done on Edward's character in that issue. I got way behind on comments. Excuse me while I get caught up. Before we get caught up, while I'm getting caught up, I should say one more time, thank you so much for 5,000 subscribers. Y'all are absolutely fantastic. All right, S Squared says, really positively surprised by Gotham City Monsters #1. I already know the artist for his work at Black Mask Comics and was surprised to see him on a DC title. That was a really good comic book. I just commented on that. It's fantastic stuff. It was a big surprise for me as well. What's up, Hamburger Basket? How are you doing? Good evening to you as well. Thank you so much for your congratulations on the subscribers there. That's all of us. That's all of us together doing that. That's not me. Oh, thank you for all that you do, Hamburger Basket, being here on the live streams, chatting with us, watching the videos. Presumably, you liking the videos, sharing the videos, subscribing, all that stuff. Really helps us out a lot, and it gets us to grow. And it gives us the idea that people want a positive place here for a comic book, pop culture, movie-obsessed community on YouTube, and we can all chat and share our love and grow because of it. And that's exciting for me. David Hatch. the real MVP of PCP right now. David Hatch is absolutely amazing. He was like one of our first Patreon subscribers. He's still part of Patreon. He's a friend of mine. I see him every week. I sell him his comic books. I steal his lunch money, as he always likes to say. And I make fun of him for playing D&D. But I'll tell you this, David Hatch. I would play D&D with you. If you ever want to get something going, I think people would really like to see the PCP crew and David Hatch play D&D together in like a video series. Maybe we could come up with like a 6 to 12 episode thing or something like that. I don't know. I'm just suggesting it right now. And if people like that idea, maybe, David, we should do something like that. But David has been the big star, and as David says, for $1 a month, the quarter of a price of an average comic book, you get access to all this cool stuff at PCP, and starting in October, you get early access to a podcast version of the weekly comic book review. Eddie says, J-Lo, number 13, was the pick of the week because I'm a Jessica Cruz fan. A lot of people talking about J-Lo right now, Justice League Odyssey. I need to check it out. But Wannabe says, heard good things about Gotham City Monsters. Once again, pleasantly surprised. S Squared says, Coffin Bound 2. Really intrigued by this one. Me too. I think Dan Waters is an amazing talent. Anybody at White Noise right now was doing superb work, outstanding work, fantastic work. So it's really good. It's like a Grindhouse version of Sandman. It gets a little in there. But I feel like this one's going to go the long haul. Really impressed with that one, and definitely got to get caught up and read his Lucifer work. But I'm just so far wrapped up right now in Comics Revisited. By the way, Comics Revisited this Thursday, a brand new episode all about Crisis on Infinite Earths by Marv Wolfman and George Perez. If you're a Patreon supporter, you have access to it right now. Once again, we got some people here chatting up Justice League Odyssey. Martinez J. I picked up Legion Millennium and reminded myself, why do I continue picking up Bendis? I can't stand the dialogue. That's one of my favorite parts of Bendis' work is the dialogue, but right now the direction is a little lacking for me. Once again, some more, people loving Justice League Odyssey. Zombie Dance. It's not that I don't dig on Oblivion Song, but I've been hitting these weeks where I've been hitting like 40 to 45 comic books a week, and it's a little much, right? And so maybe I don't want to split up the weekly comic book review into 2 segments, 2 videos or anything like that, and have one later on in the week. I don't want to do that, right? But I do need to start focusing more on the stuff that I decide to trade weight and stay caught up with that. And Oblivion Song was one of those ones, it probably hit on a week where there was like a huge stack, and I was like, I'm just going to trade weight Oblivion Song, and I haven't gotten back to it yet. Definitely need to check into it. But I was loving the Oblivion Song the entire time I was reading it. Absolutely. More love for Justice League Odyssey and Justice League Dark. Yeah, that's good stuff. Jessica Cruz doing some good stuff apparently over at J-Lo. I love that character. I'm excited to see what they're doing with her. Sabrina, number 5, pick of the week, ended on a cliffhanger waiting for 2020. Well, it is coming back with something wicked. Kelly Thompson working on Sabrina. That was awesome. I have not read issue number 5 yet. That was when I decided to trade weight on the last issue of the series. It was just too many books this week. But I definitely plan on reading that, maybe doing a video just about the whole thing. Something like that. I think I could fit in some more videos if it like about new trades and stuff like that. I think I can do that. Oh, thank you, Oscar. All the way back to the intro song. Dun 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 dun. Yep, I wrote that. The name of that song is 062609, I believe, which is the date I wrote it on, or started writing it on. And Oscar says don't change it, so no plans to change it. One God Tank says he loves the thing. I'm way behind y'all. Let's get caught up. Yeah. Oh, thank y'all. Thank y'all so much. The kind words about the theme there. Wow. Vamp number 1 came out from Mythos. Super small print run. I'm not familiar with that at all. Let me write that in. Mythos is a publisher, I'm presuming. Assuming. I will contact them. See if I can get in touch with them and see if I can get some like early looks at some upcoming titles and stuff like that. How is Jeff Lemire's art? Let me tell you this. I love Jeff Lemire's artwork. Now, Jeff Lemire's artwork is not typical comic book artwork. Now, if you're a fan of this channel, if you're a fan of the recommendations that I give, you're not going to be a fan of just typical comic book art. You like things that are different, things that have their own style, right? To me, Jeff Lemire is like that. It's a very, how do I describe this? It's a very independent, it's like a very indie style to it. It's not Jim Lee or John Buscema or anything like that. It's definitely got its own style, its own twist, but it captures melancholy, nostalgia, small town trap type feelings. Like if you love Eve 6 from back in the day, you know what I'm talking about. It captures the tone of his story so perfectly, which to me is like a bittersweet, melancholy, nostalgic, heartstring vibration. I don't know. But works of his that he has drawn himself that I absolutely love. For instance, Trillium. I've never read Sweet Tooth, but Trillium is absolutely amazing. And Royal City. Check those ones out. See if you like them. Or just look up some of the artwork on Google. I have not read the Moon Knight Annual. I heard it was okay. Bakari says Miles Morales, the pick of the week. Thank you, Grandmaster. John says he's down for some D&D. David, if you are. And like David once again says, the true MVP. Hit that thumbs up button. Let's get as many thumbs ups as we have people in the chat right now. S Squared loves Jeff Lemire's artwork. Grandmaster says Ironheart is getting greater with every issue. Williams is doing a great job. They're doing a fantastic job on that book. I love it. Looking forward to Action Comics 1015 Naomi appearance. Oh, yeah. No Vault last week. Well, David, if you pay attention, not that I'm accusing you of not paying attention. It seems like Vault kind of does most of their releases at the end of every month, but they're starting to shake it up. And we got a couple Vault releases this week that we're about to be getting into. Bad comic of the week was Leviathan number 4. Well, Joe, let me tell you this. Just like S Squared says, it will be revealed. It will be revealed issue number 6, the last issue. But it's a story that's involving a mystery, and I get that Bendis is kind of going by the book on this as far as a mystery story goes, like a detective story, like, lay out your suspects and then cross them off one by one. He's kind of doing that structurally wise to a T, but the comic itself is just not exciting. It's not exciting at all to me. I'm only reading it because I can read it, because I work at a comic shop, so I'm able to read it. I would not buy this one. I would have been checked out after 3 issues for sure. 4 would have definitely cemented the deal. But at 4, you're like, well, I only got 2 left. Might as well. That's where they get you. But let's stay positive. Let's stay positive. S Squared says, Sweet Tooth is awesome. I need to check it out. What's up, Roger? How are you doing? It's been really good. Well, we're glad you're back, Roger. I hope everything's well with you. People really excited for Action Comics 1015 with the Naomi appearance. Thank you, Logan, for your congratulations. Let's go 6,000. Let's go 10,000. I plan to hit 10,000 by the end of next year. Let's do it. Let's do it, y'all. The PCP Army, we can do this. Let's prove that positive discussion on comic books, movies, television, pop culture, and more exists on YouTube. Let's get to 10,000 subscribers. But we did just hit 5,000. I'm amazed, and we're doing this a contest very soon. Expect that announcement on a future live stream here on a Sunday night, in which I'm going to get Brooks the Magnificent to join me. Y'all want to see Brooks back on a podcast? I mean, not on a podcast, but he's on podcast. He was on the X-Men podcast. Y'all want to see Brooks back on the live stream? We're going to do it. And we're going to announce our new contest. Hamburger Basket, I understand what you're saying. You're burned out you're burned out a little bit with the mega events. Take a break. Maybe it's a bad time to do that with Absolute Carnage and the DC stuff going on. But like, yeah, absolutely. Just chill out. Brooks did get a haircut. He's still Brooks, though. He's still Brooks. I miss it, though. Y'all want to see some Brooks art? I'll show you some Brooks' artwork right now. David Hatch. For some reason, that was not approved. I have to approve this message. And I will approve it. David Hatch says, at 10,000 subscribers, I want to see John Hammer Time Holeshoe get a pie to the face. David, I'm totally down with that. I was going to say, if we hit 10,000 subscribers, we'll do a roast of me. I would much rather see John Hammer Time Holshoe get hit in the face with a pie. That'd be amazing. John says deal. All right, y'all. When we hit 10,000 subscribers, John Hammer Time Holshoe is getting a pie in the face. I'm excited about that. And hell yeah, we'll roast me as well. Would y'all like to see the PCP, the excitable PCP crew roast me on a video? I think that'd be fun. We've been planning on doing that for a while. But John's going to get hit in the face with a pie no matter what. Heck yeah. All right, I'm going to reach up and grab some artwork from Brooks for y'all to see. Here, exclusive reveals are about to happen, everybody. But as I'm grabbing up to that, I gotta put up an image. Thank y'all so much for 5,000 subscribers. I really appreciate it. I'll be right back. All right, David Hatch, I can guarantee you that no amount of subscribers will ever get Jelani to declare Ben Affleck the best Batman ever. I wouldn't even do that. One of our tenets here at Pop Culture Philosophers is honesty. And I don't know if any of us can honestly say that we think Ben Affleck is the best Batman ever. Maybe Hammer Time Holshoe. He's apparently with us tonight. So, John, do you think Ben Affleck is the best Batman ever? Me personally, I say Christian Bale. As far as cinematic Batman. Nobody, Robbie. It was all right. What are we talking about? I am completely lost again. This happens sometimes. I want to remind you down there you can tip to the show. Kind of like a fundraising effort. We just lost some patrons, but it's fine. You know, money, things change. But if you want to join up there or just want to support here at the channel, you can do so at that little $ thing down there. Get your comment up there for everybody to see, but it's not going to stop me from answering your questions. Oh, duh. Of course, John. I should have known that. I am ridiculously dumb for not thinking that it, of course, would have been not Ben Affleck, but Michael Keaton. But you do like Ben Affleck's costume better, right? For me, it's Christian Bale, though. Logan says, everyone watching now deserves an applause. It's true. Same thing happened to me, Hamburger Basket. Just not interested. It's just not dynamic. It's not fun. All right, we're going to show you some artwork real quick from Brooks. So me and Brooks are working on a project with Lance Allen over at Dance Panda Comics, and it's so early I'm not even allowed to do this yet. But then I was like, who says I'm not allowed? Me. So let's break that. Y'all want to see some exclusive artwork that you're not allowed to see yet? I think the best voice was Christian Bale. That's just me. All right, I get what you're saying, John. I remember John saying this. The closest to the comic book is the Affleck costume. I get that. It's definitely closest to the Frank Miller Batman, for sure. But he thinks that, of course, Keaton's the best, and his costume's the best. Yes. Joe, the Hulk versus Wolverine movie, that stuff's been reported by websites that you can't really trust. So until it's more trustworthy news, it'd be a cool idea. I mean, why not? You know, the recent news came down the pipe today, or I saw it today or yesterday that MCU they're thinking about doing a Silver Surfer movie. I think that's cool, and why not build up Silver Surfer and Galactus before he appears in the MCU in a Fantastic Four movie or anything like that? I think it'd be a great idea. So it'd be a great way to But if I'll tell you this, of course they're going to do a Wolverine movie before they do an X-Men movie. How dumb is that? Well, not dumb, but it's obvious and it makes sense. Like, Wolverine's a bigger deal than the X-Men. I hate to say it. Wolverine is a bigger deal than the X-Men. I mean, fight me. I mean, who disagrees, right? To the general populace, Wolverine's a bigger deal than the X-Men. That's not a hot take. That's just the way it is, right? Right? Am I tripping? Before we get to the question of the day and the reveal of this artwork, a pseudo question of the day. What's your favorite Batman movie costume? Me, Christian Bale, Dark Knight Rises. I love that costume. The first Batman costume and only Batman costume, I believe, where he can turn his neck. I love it. I love that costume. It's sleek. It's cool. It's practical. It's real. It's comic booky. I love it. What's your favorite Batman movie costume? Let's get some answers in on this. Now show us off some artwork. I hope that when me and Brooks do release this comic, y'all are interested in it, because it's going to be released as a webcomic first for free, but then we're going to be doing a graphic novel version, hopefully, that we're going to try to kickstart it and get it going. So I hope y'all are interested for real. I'm about to show you his artwork. Now, I've told y'all it's like Charles Schultz meets, the South Park style. It's like Peanuts meets South Park. It's a very distinct style that Brooks has, and I love it, and I think it's going to work for this project. I'm not going to tell you the name of the project yet. I don't want to explain too much about it. I'll just show you the artwork. I will tell you that it's set in 1994 or 5, though. All right. Swear to me. David Hatch says the BVS outfit is his favorite. Logan says Michael Keaton. Joe says Bale's. Which one? If you're going to say Bale, which one? Batman Begins or the ones after? I like the ones after. Batman Begins is a really good costume, but I love the ones after. The Dark Knight costume where he can move his neck, and it's the same costume in Rises, I believe. Roger says Michael Keaton. Michael Keaton's costume is classic, iconic, and I remember when that movie came out and it blew my mind away. I was like, why is this dude wearing all black? What, are you serious? This is awesome. This is awesome. I was like in 3rd grade. But I still thought it was awesome. It works, If it appeals to a 3rd grader and it appeals to Robbie at, 37, 38 years old. How old am I? It's awesome, right? Heck yeah. Don't forget, hit that thumbs up button, support us on Patreon, and hit the tip jar. But I'm about to give you guys some exclusive information here. So me and Brooks are working on a comic book, a web comic that's going to become a graphic novel. I've given you the initials of the book before, so I'll go ahead and give that again. It is MCW. So here is the first image I'm going to give you. This is Brooks's original artwork. Right there. So obviously that's a character in this new book that me and him are working on. New comic book, new web series. That's Brooks's artwork. That's a character named Steve, I'm presuming. But someone said the George Clooney costume. Come on, Graham. Are you serious? Come on. But there's Steve right there for MCW. I got one more I'm going to show you. This right here is old Brad. Brad, by far, is my favorite character in this project right now that I'm working on. You can take the information from the image that you will. But this is Brad, and Brad's my favorite character in this whole series. And that's Steve and Brad, and that's Brooks's artwork. And that's the first public view that's ever gotten. So consider yourselves quite privileged. Would love to see Peyton Manning as Batman. Come on, man. Can he act? No. Have you seen those insurance commercials? He can't really act, but they crack me up because they just keep going with this whole theme. Nationwide is on your side. BVS suit actually looks like fabric. I like when costumes are more simple looking and not overly complicated. All right. But Wanna Beast, Brad is smug, and he's supposed to be. I think Brooks captured the character. I will point out this real quick. Do you notice that this dude, Brad, has a sweater wrapped around his neck and shoulders as well as his waist? Do you realize that? This dude's supposed to be smug. He's like the ultimate version of all those 80s, 90s movies, just douchebags. By the way, his name is Brad Raddington. There you go. Or Brad Braddington. I haven't really quite figured that out. What do you like better, Brad Raddington or Brad Braddington? Seems like most of the PCP crew likes Brad Braddington. What do you think? And nobody steal it, because this shit is already copyrighted. Anyway, I hope y'all enjoyed that early look. And now we're about to start getting on some upcoming comic books from this week. A little late getting into it. Oh, a new issue of Black Hammer finally this week. Dark Horse Comics. Black Hammer, Age of Doom number 12. I'm excited. Critical Role, Vox Machina. Origins, Series 2, number 3. It's a lot of words. Hellboy and the BPRD Saturn Returns, number 2. StarCraft Survivors, number 3. Steeple, number 1. I've read the first issue of Steeple. I think the art will turn a lot of people away, but I really do like the book. I think it's pretty solid. I think it's pretty fun. Strayed, number 2, comes out this week. Heck yeah. Very excited. And Umbrella Academy Volume 3 in trade paperback. If you haven't gotten a chance to catch up on Hotel Oblivion, yeah, it's awesome, and it will probably lead into some like what's coming up in Umbrella Academy. Very excited for that. From IDW this week, we got G.I. Joe number 1, a brand new series. Marvel Action Captain Marvel number 2, My Little Pony Friendship is Magic number 82. Napoleon Dynamite number 1, that's right, a Napoleon Dynamite comic book debuts this week. From IDW. Star Trek Year 5 number 6 and Transformers number 12. And that's from IDW. From Dynamite, we've got the 4th volume in the Boys Omnibus trade paperback collection from Dynamite out this week. Elvira, Mistress of the Dark number 9. James Bond 007 number 11 out this week. Kiss the End number 5. Red Sonja, Birth of the She-Devil, number 4. Red Sonja, Vampirilla, Betty Veronica, number 3. Some covers for that. I don't know. Vampirilla, number 3 is out this week. Xena, Warrior Princess, number 6. That's from Dynamite. How about them Cowboys? Old Dak right here is on top of the Batmobile right now celebrating. We're 2-0, baby. The Cowboys are 2-0. 2-0. 2-0 for the Cowboys. How about them Cowboys? Cable's a Cowboys fan. He just looks like one, doesn't he? And Iron Man is only a Cowboys fan when he is in the Hulk Buster armor. And Batman, of course, is a Cowboys fan because he hates the Knights. They're terrible. Y'all's team win this week. Who's your team? How'd they do? From Boom Studios this week, Firefly returns with issue number 9. Once in Future number 2 is out this week. Steven Universe number 32 is out this week, and that is from IDW. Or should I say from Boom? My bad. Boom. Anyway. Before we get to the big three, what about some of the other companies? We got Archie 1955, number 1 out this week. They'll get to 1995, trust me. RT vs. Predator 2, number 2 out this week. Blade Runner 2019, number 3 out this week. Cult classic Return to Whisper. The double feature with the final 2 issues, number 4 and 5, the last issue of Cult classic Return to Whisper from Vault Comics out this week. I'm super excited about that one. Grumble number 10 out this week. Killers number 3. Monster World Golden Age number 3, Psylords number 4, Rick and Morty vs. Dungeons and Dragons, Painscape number 1, Second Coming number 3 arrives from Ahoy Comics, Show's End number 2 from Mad Cave, Test number 4 from Vault, and You Are Obsolete number 1 from Aftershock Comics. We'll get to the big 3 here in just a moment. We got a few Braddingtons and a few Raddingtons. Cowboys are looking really good. Now, I don't want to be like this in the first two games. You know what I'm saying? But they looking really good. I'm keeping it quiet because I don't want like everybody to hear this, but the Cowboys looking good. Cowboys looking good. Green Bay 2-0. Raiders lost. Ooh. But I bet you're happy to be rid of the Antonio Brown stuff. My girlfriend's a big Steelers fan. Rough one. Again. But she's happy to be way far away from this Antonio Brown stuff. Yeah, that's right, Brett. What's up, Brett? Everybody say, what's up, Brett? One of our key members at the PCP Army. A fantastic artist, by the way. Check out his stuff. Brett Hess. Find Brett Hess art on Instagram. Look at his artwork. It's amazing. Look at this thing moving towards me. It's trying to phantom zone me. Anyway, Return to Whisper looking good. I'm not trying to jinx it, Logan. That's why I said it like a. That's why I said it like this. What's coming up from Image this week? From Image Comics, we have Excellence number 5. The first trade paperback of Fair Lady. And the trade paperback of Assassination. 2 books you should check out. Middle West number 11 out this week. Outpost Zero number 13. Rumble number 16. And Weatherman Volume 2 number 4. Image got a light week this week. Let's see about DC. Aquaman number 52 is out this week. Batman number 79. Flash Forward number 1. I got an early look at that, but I haven't checked it out yet. I should do that. High Level number 6, the final issue, I believe. Inferior 5 number 1. Got some Jeff Lemire artwork in there for you. It's a great variant cover by Jeff Lemire. Justice League 32, loving it. Lex Luthor, Year of the Villain, probably the only essential one-shot that's going to be coming out. We'll see what happens, though. Lucifer, number 12. Nightwing, number 64. Supergirl, number 34. Superman, number 15. Superman's pal, Jimmy Olsen, number 3. A book way better than it should be. Teen Titans, 34. Teen Titans Go, 36. Titans Burning Rage, number 2. Wonder Woman, Come Back to Me, number 3. Let's go ahead and finish it off with with Marvel. Marvel Comics. Absolute Carnage number 3 out this week. Absolute Carnage Lethal Protectors number 2. Arrow number 3 is out this week. There's a lot of different printings. It's hard to get through. A facsimile edition of Daredevil 181, one of my favorite issues of Daredevil. Deadman Logan number 11, the penultimate issue. Death's Head number 3. Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man number 12. Guardians of the Galaxy number 9. History of the Marvel Universe number 3. House of X number 5. The next issue we have that's highlighted in red, that means it's important. Pay attention. Pay attention to this one. By the way, that last issue of Powers, kind of took my theory from last week and kind of been like, what about clones, Robbie? What about clones? Magnificent Miss Marvel number 7 is out this week. Savage Sword of Conan number 9. Spider-Man number 1, that's right, the new Spider-Man book by J.J. Abrams' kid, Henry, is out this week. There's a die-cut Chip Zdarsky cover. Die-cut? I'm interested. Star Wars Age of the Resistance Rey number 1 is out this week. And Rose. Yeah, that should be fun. The comments of that. Tony Stark Iron Man 16 is out this week. Marvel's got a big week. And Jane Foster Valkyrie number 3. So that's Marvel Comics. That's the comics books coming out this week. What are you most excited for? Me, Test. Very excited for Test and Cult Classic, the conclusion of Return to Whisper. Yeah, Batman ran a little bit late, I believe. So I think they're catching up. Same reason why we had Justice League come out 2 times in a row. Social commentary, you will probably most definitely hear who the next writer on Batman is going to be at New York Comic Con, which is at the beginning of October. I guarantee it. That's where the announcement is going to be made. I think it's going to be Tom Taylor. We'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. I'm going to miss Old Man Logan too, but I'm going to be glad that it's wrapping up. Excellence is good too. That's one I decided to trade wait. So as soon as the first trade comes out, I got to do a video for that. In fact, I'm writing a note down right now for it. We have some exciting show and tell coming up, of course. But before we get to that, once again, thank you so much for helping us hit 5,000 subscribers. You're just as much a part of this as we are. And Comics Revisited, a brand new episode out this Thursday morning. Me and Jelani going to be talking about Crisis on Infinite Earths. Very excited for y'all to see that episode. If you're a part of our Patreon subscribers, you have access to it right now. Logan's looking forward to House of X5, Lex Luthor Year the Villain. Social commentary says, I hope it's Tom Taylor, but with the new Suicide Squad book announced, I get it. As soon as that got announced, I was like, may not be Taylor then. Who else would it be? Who else is lined up? Who's doing good work at DC right now? Are they going to let Christopher Priest get a hold of it? Wouldn't that be cool? I think that'd be super cool. His Deathstroke run is ending in December with issue number 50. Just think about that. Bawana Beast, I'm right there. I wish all DC books would go to once a month, to be honest with you, except for Justice League. That's fine. I'm cool with that. I'm cool with that one. Yeah, Priest would be amazing, I think. Priest has my favorite run on Black Panther. I didn't like his Deathstroke run at first. I definitely, now that it's wrapping up, I'm going to read it all in like one weekend. And I'm really excited to do so. Christopher Priest is one of my favorite writers. Quantum and Woody, Black Panther. I'm really looking forward to it. Comic Corps is looking forward to the new Rick and Morty Painscape. That's the D&D crossover. I'm looking forward to Rick and Morty Season 4. Isn't that very soon, like November or something? Brett, I love that John Carpenter is writing the Joker Year the Villain as well, but we both know that it's just John Carpenter was like, what if we did this? And then someone took that idea and made a script out of it. Come on. We both know that. So it may not actually be good, but we'll see what happens, right? Multi, I'm right there with you. I think Tom Taylor could do both Suicide Squad and Batman. In fact, Tom Taylor has cemented himself as one of DC's preeminent writers, and he's been doing great work over at Marvel too. So why not go ahead and wrap him up, get him exclusive, and get him on Batman and Suicide Squad. Joe, I'm right there with you. Hickman's blowing me away as well. Yeah, Tom Taylor is doing Suicide Squad starting in December. But Batman's going to have a new writer starting in January, and we're all anticipating who's that going to be. My number 1 pick, Tom Taylor. My number 2, Christopher Priest. My number 3, Peter Tomasi. Just move him over from detective and have someone else come into detective. It may wind up being something like that. I hope not. I hope it's... Now that I think about it, I hope it's Priest. I really do. I would love to see Christopher Priest get a hold of Batman for like 50 issues or so. That would be amazing. What's up, C3 Comics? How are you doing? Everybody hit that thumbs up button if you haven't already. Thumbs up really helps this channel. Also support at the $ down below. You can tip us here on the live stream, or you can join us at patreon.com/PCP. Here's a little background that I made up to thank our patrons: David, Alex, Adem, Chamorro Cinema, Nelson, Brian, Dean, Jason, Joe, and Brian. Y'all are amazing. Thank you so much. And if you've been missing out on the PCP After Hours podcast, of which a new episode was just released, you're missing out on a lot of fun. It's a fun show. We're really excited to make that available to our supporters for just $1 a month. Excited for the TMNT Mighty Morphin Power Rangers crossover, Joe. So am I. Super excited about that. Very, very excited. We're at the time for the question of the week. You know, we're getting near Halloween time. And I am ready. Geared up. And we did a PCP Army poll. What would you like us to cover for the Halloween season, movie-wise? We had this whole poll. And the winner was Dracula/vampires. That means I'm going to be... This is an official new announcement right here. First time ever. Anybody is hearing about this aside from me. Debuting a new show starting this week. That's right. This Friday starts a brand new show here on the channel. That is going to be a reoccurring show for Halloween time. It's called Fearfully Frightful and Fearful. Wait, what did I say? It's going to be called Frightfully Fearful Fridays. What? Anyway, we're going to be talking about a different horror movie. I'm going to be talking about a different horror movie every Friday night. It's going to be late Friday night, just before the witching hour. So it's going to be like one of those videos that's going to drop really late at night so that we can all get together and chat about horror movies and shit like that, right? This year on the PCP Army, Dracula/Vampires won. So we're going to start off this week with my absolute favorite vampire movie, Dracula, starring Bela Lugosi. Very excited for that. Batman being twice a month is crazy. How about all the other books that are twice a month? Flash is still twice a month. I'd be much more comfortable with the Flash if it was once a month. Yeah, Peter Tomasi on Shazam would be really cool. They're going to let Johns finish what he's planning, though. It's not going to be a live chat. Hamburger basket. What's going to be is it's going to be like it's going to be me talking about the information and my thoughts about a movie. I have thought about the idea of doing like some kind of I'm a big horror fan, first of all. So I've been thinking about doing an idea of like doing some like movie commentaries or something like that. That might be something I'm thinking about doing as well. If the interest is there, which you can let me know right now if the interest is there, I would do something like that. So like as well as a video, like a 5 to 8 minute video about Dracula starring Bela Lugosi, you know, information, facts, and a critique and just, you know, an analysis and some thoughts. That's what I'm planning. But if you want to see me do something like a full length, you know, audio commentary, I've been really considering something like that for a long time. I don't think DC's struggling right now. I don't think Marvel's struggling. But Marvel's got two things that are really working for them right now with Absolute Carnage and the X-Men stuff. But they really got to figure out a long-term plan. DC's long-term plan is more exciting to me. That's just me. Social Commentary says, pretty sure Batman will be monthly from January alongside Batcat. They should all start going monthly, to be honest with you. It would cut down their production costs as well. I know they did it because those were the books that were like hyping up, but like Flash, I think would sell more if it was monthly. Because it's been good and consistent, and it's got solid numbers, but I think it would be better if it was once a month. Graham says that they would listen to a movie commentary. Comic Corpse has been loving Batman Curse of the White Knight. Me too. It's been fun. Lots of exposition, though. I'm ready to get into it. So, in case you were unaware, of course you're aware, we've just reached 5,000 subscribers. We're about to be doing a new contest. Right now, what I'm thinking about is a Vault Comics package. Let me know what you think about that. I'm thinking about 6 trade paperbacks from Vault and maybe some extra surprises here and there, all in one package to one lucky winner. We'll be announcing that in like the next week or two. Does that sound cool? Everybody down for that? And now the question of the day, relating to what I was talking about the Halloween stuff. What is your favorite Batman? Let me try that again. What is your favorite vampire movie? Let me know right now. Mine is Dracula, starring Bela Lugosi. And that's going to start Frightfully Fearful Fridays. They start this week. And I'll be talking about Dracula, and it is a possibility that I will be releasing like a movie commentary of Dracula. I'm very excited. What is your favorite vampire movie, though? Let me know right now. That's the question of the week. Let's get a conversation going. Then we'll move on to show and tell and wrap up the show. Hamburger Basket says, Gary Oldman's Dracula is my favorite, and yes, that is the one from the 90s. The Bram Stoker's Dracula, it's the most true to the book out of all the cinematic Draculas, though the Bela Lugosi one still holds a very special place in my heart. I think that's a very ambitious and needed remake of that movie. I thought it was pretty decent at the time. It's not my favorite today. I think the Christopher Lee one's better than that. I think the Bela Lugosi one's better than that, but not because they're as ambitious. And I do appreciate that it's the closest to the novel, of which I'm a huge fan. That's my favorite book ever, is Bram Stoker's Dracula. David Hatch says The Lost Boys, one of my top 5 favorite vampire movies ever. I love The Lost Boys. I love Dracula with Bela Lugosi. I love Near Dark. I love Near Dark. Near Dark's great. We'll be talking this Halloween season. We'll be talking about the Bela Lugosi Dracula. We'll be talking about Lost Boys, and we'll be talking about Near Dark. Now, we've already talked about Lost Boys once on the PCP Movie Night show back in the day, the early version of our movie reviews or whatever. But I'll be doing my own video for that too, and especially probably a movie commentary. I got one person that would be interested in movie commentaries. Let me know if anybody else would be interested. Hamburger Basket says 30 Days of Night is great. I've read the comic, never seen the movie, believe it or not. I Am Legend with the director's ending, but other vampire media love the first book of The Strain. The Strain is amazing. I love that book series. They're great. Comic Corp says Queen of the Damned is pretty sweet too. Eddie says Vampire in Brooklyn. I like Vampire in Brooklyn as well, but more as a novelty. Hamburger Basket says he has a soft spot for Interview with the Vampire also. I guess we all do. So does Joe, right? Joe, great. Yeah. Logan says, of course, The Lost Boys. It's a classic. Hamburger Basket knows his vampire movies, knows their vampire movies. Fright Night is also great. Yes, it is. Both versions. I love the original. I love it. And I love the new one with David Tennant and Colin Farrell. I think both of them are amazing movies. I've seen that cover for TMNT 100. It does look great. Vampires are amazing. Vampire fiction is some of my favorite. But what else should we cover this year? We got Dracula. We got Lost Boys. We got Near Dark. What else should we cover? Should we do Once Bitten? Something like that? Should we do My Best Friend's a Vampire? What we do in the shadows? Let me tell you this, Franco. I just started watching What We Do in the Shadows, the TV show. And I knew it was based on a movie, but I watched the TV show first, and I am loving it. I'm like halfway through the season, and I am absolutely loving it. It is so good. I'm definitely pumped to check out the movie. I'll definitely probably be checking that one out and doing, like I said, a video for it for sure. And if the interest is there, I'll be doing a movie commentary. I love the first half of From Dusk Till Dawn. I hate the second half. Hate it. Dracula 3000. I haven't seen that one. I've seen Dracula 2000. And I like it to a point, but to me, it's not a good movie. Oh, Salem's Lot's my favorite Stephen King book. I haven't seen the new one, though, with Rob Lowe. I need to check that out. Oh, Nosferatu, a classic. I think a Nosferatu movie commentary would be really fun. Because I find, as much as I love cinema, there are some really great silent films, but I find them hard to watch because they're a little boring. It may help if I'm doing a commentary. What if I even did a commentary as like a live stream, right? Like live streamed a movie commentary. Said we're all gonna like set it up tonight at this time. We're gonna start watching Bela Lugosi's Dracula, and everybody can tune in here to YouTube and basically watch it along with me, and then that could later on be turned into a movie commentary. Does that sound like a cool idea? I think that could work. Somebody also said they retracted their message, but they said I don't know if this was a mistake, but they said Dracula 2099, which made me think of Blade 2099 and made me think of a pitch I got to give to Marvel Studios or Marvel's Comics, I should say. Blade's my jam. Blade is my jam. It's cool that I think Bub from Day of the Dead grasps a copy of Salem's Lot in that movie. Yes. It's because George Romero and Stephen King were great friends. That's why they worked together on the Creepshow movie. It's amazing. And Bub is... Day of the Dead is my favorite zombie film, and it's my favorite horror film in the 80s probably. Well, maybe The Shining. Maybe The Shining. It changes all the time. All the time. What about Sunday the 15th, David? That's what it is right now. Sunday the 15th. Graham says they would love a live stream movie commentary. I think I might try to do that. Sounds like a really cool idea. Logan, no, I don't. So, on my want list at my shop, my number one book was Fantastic Four number 5. I got it now. I have the first appearance of Doctor Doom. The next one is Tomb of Dracula number 10. Unfortunately, it's really hype right now, especially with the characters showing up in MCU Phase 4 or 5 or whatever it is. So there's a lot of hype and a lot of... But I want a Tomb of Dracula number 10 so bad. Can one pitch ideas to Marvel Comics? No. No, Toby. Not at all. Not at all. But I can get a pitch ready for when they ask for one. That's the plan, right? Yeah, I'm really loving the series so far. It's so funny. Someone could easily say it's like The Office meets vampires, and that would get the idea across, but it's not the same. It's so freaking funny. It's so great. Yeah, I haven't seen the last It movie yet, Joe. I didn't really like the first one that much, but I don't know. My girl's a big Stephen King fan, and we're definitely going to be watching it soon. All right, let's get in that then. Social commentary. Batman Who Laughs versus the Apex Lex. What's happening there? What do I think it's going to be about? The conflict is this. So early on in the whole Justice League run by Scott Snyder, they had some issues that led to the idea in their conversation with Lex and Batman Who Laughs. And the Batman Who Laughs said, I will let you do what you're doing as long as you let me do what I'm doing, and as long as we don't come against each other, we're going to let each other do what we're doing. Well, basically, Lex is going to win the Justice Doom War. We already know that now from these solicitations. Lex Luthor and the Legion of Doom, they win. They win. Okay? And then the after the Justice League is taken care of, the only thing that's going to be opposing Lex's plans is the Batman Who Laughs. That's what this book is going to be about. And that's the culmination. And what does this lead into? I don't know. But neither of them need to win. Right? Exciting. But yeah, like Bawanabe says, the fate of the universe, obviously. It's time for the show and tell portion of the program, everybody. If you got anything you wanted me to get into right now, send it. Because we are near wrapping up of the show. Not saying it's happening in a couple of minutes. If we get enough questions here. Oh, here's the... Frank, okay. Doomsday Clock is going to be canon. The question is, how are they going to fit it in? And somebody at DC now knows what the ending of Doomsday Clock is going to be. That's been integrated in already. Doomsday Clock, though, is apparently going to be something that probably happened before where we're at right now in continuity. I don't know. But, the debate is crazy. It's funny. But it's going to be in continuity. I guarantee it. That's what I think. What's up, Carlos? How are you doing? We are near towards the end of the show, about to get into show and tell, but already we've covered this week's new comics. We covered our picks of the week. What was your pick of the week last week? We asked the question of the day, what was your favorite vampire movie? We asked the idea, what would you think about movie commentaries, like live movie commentaries? Obviously we can't show the movie or anything like that, but we can all, be here at a certain time and start watching a movie, and we can watch it together and we can talk about it. That's a cool idea. I really like something like that. It's kind of like a movie of the month club or something like that. That'd be really, really fun. I mean, for Halloween, we could do it once a week. Maybe. But we're about to get to show and tell. If it's non-canon, it wouldn't change my opinion on the work, but I think the significance of the work would be deflated. 100%. We were all led to believe that this is in continuity and very important, and the reasoning for rebirth and a reboot, and I love reboots and retcons and all that stuff at DC, and especially because I love it how at DC they make it part of the story, like Crisis on Infinite Earths, which we're going to be talking about this Thursday on Comics Revisited, me and Jelani. Of course, if you're on Patreon, you already have access to that video. But what about you guys? Would it bother you if Doomsday Clock was not part of continuity? Would that bother you? Silver Surfer was damn good. Carlos, I'm right there with you. And Lost Boys is always a classic. We got another vote, David Hatch, for Lost Boys, a fantastic movie. I definitely got to do a movie commentary on that one this week. Or not this week, but this season, I should say. It would be a kick in the balls. That book was set up to be in continuity. It's got to be in continuity. It is in continuity. Just making sense of the timeline. That's what's coming. Obviously, the way it ends is with the DC Universe intact and the way that they want it to be, which is working for them right now. So, it seems like the biggest changes that were going to happen from Doomsday Clock are going to be the reintegration of the JSA and the Legion of Superheroes. They've already jumped the gun and gotten that started, but Doomsday Clock was supposed to be what led into that. That's what's changed. I think this is what happened. Okay? Let's have some speculation. Doomsday Clock came out reset DC continuity, bring back the JSA, bring back the Legion of Superheroes, one cohesive continuity, bringing back other things like Wally West and things we loved from the post-crisis timeline that went away after the New 52. That's the purpose of Doomsday Clock, right? And to tell a great story that is like almost a philosophical sequel in theme to the original Watchmen, but somehow tie that into to DC, right? So I love the idea of the cynicism of the Watchmen, and I've said this so many times in this channel. The cynicism of the Watchmen, the deconstruction of it, and the hopeful optimism of the DC universe. And this is a almost meta commentary on the effect of the Watchmen in superhero comics and DC's response to that, right? I think it's pretty cool, to be honest with you. I've always been down for that, right? So what happened was this. Nobody was allowed to use the Justice Society or the Legion until Doomsday Clock was done, right? We know this for a fact. We know this for a fact. Okay? So, what happened was that creators at DC who wanted to use those characters, JSA, Legion, were given a date. They were given a date when they were able to use those characters, meaning that at this date, we have this all figured out. I think when they originally gave those creators that date, which turned out to be Scott Snyder wanting to do JSA and Brian Michael Bendis wanting to do Legion, Hickman before him, but now he's doing X-Men, and I bet DC's really, really bothered that Legion's not what we're talking about right now. It's DC. But it could have been, it's X-Men, but it could have been Legion, but the Doomsday Clock stuff, right? They gave him a date. Doomsday Clock has been obviously postponed since then. They thought the date was like now. They thought that now was the time that they could go ahead with Legion and Justice Society. Doomsday Clock ran late. So Doomsday Clock is going to wrap up the way it was always supposed to wrap up, leading into the idea of the JSA, the past, and the Legion, the future of the DC universe being back set, right? So after Doomsday Clock, JSA, Legion, they exist, they're usable, there you go. Doomsday Clock's late, so that's what happened. They all thought the end of Doomsday Clock would have already happened. I don't know why I clocked, but that's what's going on right now. Doomsday Clock is in continuity, but it's already wrapped up. Does that make sense at all? That's how I'm seeing it. What do y'all think? The delays, huge amount of events, and success of Batman Who Laughs were the things that brought us to this situation. Snyder and Bendis have been leading DC, and maybe Jeff got in the way. Well, Snyder and Bendis are leading DC right now, and Jeff Johns was doing it before, but the problem is that Jeff Johns is so wrapped up right now. He's a movie producer. GL Core is going to be a movie that's going to happen. DC, Warner Brothers, they definitely want to make that into a movie franchise. Green Lantern has so much potential. And I think he's spread a little bit thin. That's why Shazam's been late. So do we know who did the mismanagement? I guess ultimately, if you want to look at who did the mismanagement, it's probably Jeff Johns. To be honest with you, Gary Frank has been up on the art the entire time. He's been posting images on Twitter to let us know that he's been right there along with it. Jeff Johns. It's Jeff Johns. That's why Shazam's late as well. To me, this is just speculation. I don't know any inside information that y'all don't. It's Jeff Johns. Jeff Johns is just way behind on work. That's what's going on. That's what's going on. And I really also think that maybe it's not that he's behind on work, but that I think Doomsday Clock is really next level for Jeff Johns, and I think it's taken a lot out of him artistically, creatively. What about Green Lantern? Here's the thing. With Green Lantern, if they're going to get Grant Morrison to write a book, that means no editorial interference. He doesn't have to tie into Year of the Villain. He doesn't have to tie into anything. Grant Morrison's GL right now is its own story that is set in continuity, but outside of the effects of continuity. And once everything is said and done, then we, the comic book historians and the fans and the commentators, can figure out where it fits in DC continuity. But Grant Morrison's GL is not going to be there's going to be no interference from the DCU into anything Grant Morrison does. That's just the way it is. Hal Jordan will have new powers, but it will all reset. It will all go back. What Grant Morrison is doing right now in GL is going to be set. It's in continuity, but it's not affected by anything that's currently going on in continuity. And that's just good comics, to be honest with you. Let a good creator create a good story. Don't boggle that person down with tie-ins or unnecessary things like that. There you go. Morrison does have the blank continuity check, absolutely. And I'm cool with that. He's gotten to the point where he's allowed to do that. I want to see a 5-year run on Grant Morrison from Flash. No. What? I want to see a 5-year run on Flash from Grant Morrison. I would like to see a 5-year run on Grant Morrison by me. I would write that comic book. Or maybe Morrison would. Yeah, that's just basically what it gets. What it boils down to with Morrison's involvement. Continuity can be a fun thing, but it can also be a tricky thing. But the biggest key with continuity is to remember this. After everything is said and done, we'll see how it shakes out. But every comic book, as you read it, is happening now, and it's important. The most important thing about comic book continuity is to realize that. Every book you are currently reading right now is happening now, and it's important. And it happened. Logan, I hope Flash Forward looks good. I got an early look at it, but I haven't checked it out yet. I'll check it out tomorrow. I'll let y'all know in the PCP Army or something, or on Twitter. It's Scott Lobdell, so I'm not super pumped. I don't know. I don't have the biggest hopes for it. But they need to figure out what to do with Wally West, goddammit. As you can see in my glass, Count Chocula. We were talking about vampires, Dracula, all that stuff and more. Seems like we got about 2 people that would check out movie commentaries if I did them. I don't know if that's enough, but maybe it's enough just to do it for y'all every once in a while. Now it's time for show and tell. I love it when I move the mic up like this. And then I come back to it and I move it down. What? First of all, Walgreens, Dracula. A brand new pop for Dracula from Walgreens. Exclusive. Funko Pops, you know we love them. You know I love Dracula. So super excited to be talking about this. Whoops, dropped something. By the way, new show debuting this Friday night. Frightfully Fearful Fridays here on Pop Culture Philosophers. This year we're going to be chatting for Halloween season all about Dracula and vampires. So be here late Friday night for our discussion about Dracula. But this is going to be something we're going to open up tonight. It's a Dracula Pop from Funko. It was a Walgreens exclusive. They've already done a Dracula Pop. I already have that one, but now we're going to open this one up. He's got his little candle. Very excited for this. So let's get the sound effect in. You have to add that sound effect in yourself. Pop! You see this moving? I don't even know which hinge that is. Anyway, let's open this up. Take a look at it. My buddy Mike the Voice Matthews, who you'll know from the Excitable PCP crew, actually hooked me up with this pop. So thank you, Mike. Now let's take a look at it. There it is right there. It's the Dracula Pop, but when they did the Universal Pops back in the day, they were all in that typical pop kind of thing, the same pose, but now they do more elaborate poses. So this is a more movie accurate pose, which I think is super nifty and super, super cool. That's the Dracula Pop right there. I think you can find it right now in Walgreens. Now last year, Walgreens did an exclusive. Last year, Walgreens did an Universal exclusive. They did a Frankenstein monster holding the flower. I already have that. I showed that off on one of these live streams before. But this week I finally got one of the other ones. And once again, because of Mike the Voice Matthews, it's the Invisible Man Pop. Look at that. We're not going to open this one up just yet, but stay tuned. We're probably going to be opening this one up in the next few weeks here on Rockin Robbie Live. But I love The Invisible Man, I love Claude Rains, and I love James Whale, and I love that movie. Here's one we are going to open up, and this is a Dumbo McDonald's toy. What year is this from? It's from the 90s. 1995. So obviously tied into one of the re-releases of Dumbo in theaters or on VHS or something. This is a Dumbo toy from McDonald's. I love Happy Meal toys. We're going to open this up. Once again, this came from Mike the Voice Matthews, who loves to see cool toys in the background here at PCP. He's responsible for the majority of them. By the way, is the toy guy at my shop. So there you go. It's a little Dumbo. Now it does this like suck in and out. It doesn't make a noise. So I'm assuming that it's got a hole at the trunk. So I'm assuming the point is to suck up water and snort it out. I don't have a cup of water right now, nor do I want to spread it all over the mixer and the keyboard or whatever. But there's a cute little Dumbo right there, right? Who likes Dumbo? I do. Not the new movie. It wasn't the greatest, was it? Logan says he would be up for a movie commentary. That's super cool. Maybe something to do like, I don't know. I don't know how to fit it in, but let's try to do a couple this year. Just to see how it works. Dracula for sure. Lost Boys for sure. Y'all ever seen Near Dark? Because we should really do one for Near Dark. Because I think that's a vampire movie that most people haven't seen. Oh, Brian bought Street Fighter on Blu-ray this week. Where are they at? Oh, they're right here. So we do movie reviews on this channel. We haven't done one in a minute. We're doing one for Rambo 5. We're doing one for Joker. No worries. And we do these little like review, like poll things that we do on the PCP Army. Which classic movie do you want us to revisit and review? And Street Fighter's been on that poll forever. And it's never won. We're going to do it anyway. One day. But the next ones we're about to be doing are this. The winner of the last poll, Darkman. James Donahoe hooked me up with this, by the way. He also hooked me up with this. That's Spawn the movie, both on Blu-ray. What? This is taking me back. Brooks has already watched these. Jelani's watching them. I'm about to watch them. We will be releasing movie reviews, retro reviews of these classic, fun 90s pulp hero comic booky movies in the next few weeks. So be on the lookout for that. Yeah, I'm excited. We got one more thing to open up, and I'm really excited about it. But thank you, Dylan's comic book rants. I really do appreciate that. Social commentary. I have that movie right over there. I can see it right now. 2005's Batman vs. Dracula. That would be a great one to talk about. Maybe I should get Brooks and Jelani to join me for that one. Yeah, that Spawn reboot. You know, if McFarlane would just get over him. I mean, the problem is this. If you want a Hollywood studio, even if it's a small scale studio, to I think the Batman, if you're talking about the Batman Dracula movie, I thought it was really good, actually. I like that Batman series a lot. It came out post Batman Begins, but I actually like that series. Anyway, what were we talking about? The Spawn animated series is better than the comic, in my opinion. So, I'm going to leave you this. Not leave you. I'll be right back. Thank you so much for 5,000 subscribers. And now I've got something that I'm very excited to open up. The brand new acquisition. So, a brand new acquisition here for Show and Tell. Thank you, C3 Comics. So, you guys and gals know I'm a Power Rangers fan. And Hasbro has the rights now. They got the Power Rangers Lightning Collection. I've already opened up the White Ranger on this show. But now I got a Lord Zed, and we're opening it up right now. You know, the voice actor for Lord Zed just died in the last couple weeks. That's sad. But we're going to open up this figure. It looks so badass. This was the short package one in the series, apparently. I didn't think I had enough to get, like, any kind of scissors or knife in here. So I'm going to open it up with a pen. Who cares? Just rip it. Rip it. There we go. Who cares? Now we're opening up this toy. Because it looks so freaking cool. And Lord Zed is the most badass Power Rangers villain there ever was. And ever will be. Oh my goodness. Okay. So first of all of his little tubes are tubes. And they move along with everything. Oh my God. You see that? I am Lord Zed, master of all I survey. He didn't talk like that at all. Lord Zed is just one of the niftiest looking villains ever. If this dude was in a comic book, you guys would love it. He's just like, skinless, and he's got these tubes. He's got this badass staff. Yeah. Right there with a Z on it. So basically, if you remember Power Rangers, there was Rita, obviously. And Lord Zed was apparently Rita's boss. And he shows up in season 2, and things really, like, upped. The threat level upped. He was badass. This figure, if you're a fan of the show, you know he had these little balls that he would throw out and make monsters grow. That ball is here. Right there. And you can see some other hands right there. He also has this cool effect for his staff, which fell out somewhere. Oh, there it is at my feet. Right there. So this is supposed to wrap around the staff somehow. There we go. So basically you can do something like this with it. Oh, Lord Zed's just the freaking coolest. He's got a brain sticking out of his head. He looks like a skinless dude with all these, like, all this craziness on him. Oh, wow, that even comes apart. You can pop it back on. His little knee pads. Oh, this is probably the coolest Power Rangers figure I've ever owned. Like, I'm not even kidding. Power Ranger figures have always been okay. But now that Hasbro has the rights, they're really doing some good stuff. Now, the figure art stuff was always amazing. And nobody has topped that. But this looks like what a figure arts version of Lord Zed would be, which was not a Japanese thing. It was an American Power Rangers thing. And probably the best thing that the American Power Rangers ever gave us was Lord Zed. Anyway. Well, that means we're about to be wrapping it up here for the night. We've already gone for an hour and a half. Thank you so much for joining us here on Robbie Rants Live. Or, my bad, Robbie Rants. We retired that. Here for Rockin Robbie Live. I want to thank our patrons once again. David, Alex, Adam, Tomorrow, Nelson, Brian, Dean, Jason, Joe, Brian. Y'all are the best, the true MVPs here of PCP. Join the PCP Army or the official Pop Culture Philosophers Facebook group and support us over at patreon.com/PCP. We're going to be doing some really fun, exciting things, trying to make it more enticing to join our Pop Culture Philosophers Patreon page, because for $1 a month, you get everything. There are no tiers. Like, you may get your name in the credits, you may get a shout out or whatever like that, but most of everything that we do, all the content that we produce, is available at the smallest level, which is $1 a month, including PCP After Hours, early access to things like Comics Revisited, and just so much more. So thank you so much. We just recently hit 5,000 subscribers. There will be a contest coming very soon. It's going to be Vault Comics related, so I'm very excited for that. We really do appreciate everything here on the channel. Y'all are absolutely the best. I am Rockin Robbie Billups, and on behalf of everybody here at Pop Culture Philosophers, thank you so much. We'll see you this week for all of our exciting programming and some surprises and more. I've been Rockin Robbie Billups. This has been Pop Culture Philosophers. Thanks for joining us. Holler. Keep on rocking with us. Thanks for rocking. What am I supposed to say here? Keep on reading.